And we're starting things off over at lane 21 with James Balf. He's on his 7th frame right now. Right now he's got a score of 60. This is a pretty unique situation with the type of equipment that he's using right now.
He seems to have a ball that has a built-in hook. His ball doesn't have any holes in it, which is very smart because the hole will divert the route of the ball. Most people will use a regular house ball with holes in it. The ideal thing is to get a 16-pound ball with no holes and with a little bit of hook built into it, because if you have a hook on your ball, when it hits the pocket, it'll drive through better and get more action.
And as you can see right there, James Balf lets go, tries to spin it a little bit with his hand before he lets go. That one goes down there. Gets about 3.
I'm sure he's got a better average than this. He seems to be having a bad day, but maybe by the second or third game he'll be more accurate.
It is still pretty early in the day. It is right now 10:35 in the morning for this game 1. And you were mentioning something a little bit earlier about how the times that these bowling events might start might actually hinder some of these competitors.
Right. This group here is actually quadriplegics, which means they have very limited function of their upper body as well as their legs. And almost every one of them has to have an attendant, which requires more time to prepare. So we'll ask some of these folks, but I bet they've got up several hours ago to be able to get here on time. And that's pretty inconvenient for them.
And Balf not able to pick anything up on that second attempt on the 7th frame, not able to get that spin on it like we've seen. As far as being able to get the spin on the ball in ramp bowling, is it more about getting the right type of ball built with the hook in it, or in Balf's case, is there anything you can do before letting the ball go down the ramp that adds more spin to it?
There's not a whole lot you can do with the ramp because you've got several feet of tubing there that directs the ball. You can try and put a little side spin on it or back spin or forward spin that'll direct it just a bit. I think with ramp bowling, the best way to get spin is get a ball with a built-in hook.
Well, that one's starting to hook, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit late.
A little closer in the last frame.
So 5 on the first roll of the 8th frame. We're looking at James Balf on lane 21 over here at North Bowl. So far he has a 68. And he's looking at his second attempt on the 8th frame.
I just want to mention that volunteers work very diligently on these games. You see this guy's helping James. It takes a lot of work to get the ball exactly the way he wants it. And he's got to do this, so far 2 times every frame for 3 games. So
yeah, it seems that Balf is pretty meticulous up there. As you can see, his assistant talking to him, making sure he's got the ball in the right spot, making sure it's in the good position exactly where he wants it, making sure the ramp is where he wants it as well. A little bit of a late hook once again. That's what we've seen the last couple of frames from him. That hook just hasn't been getting that break on it early enough. It's been staying to the left. And so Balf now with a score of 70 through 8 frames. Started off with a lot of 9s early on. He had 9s in the first 3 frames, picked up a spare in the 4th. But then after that, things have started to go a little bit downhill. A 7th in the 5th, a 9 in the 6th, but then a 3 in the 7th, followed by the 7 we saw just there. Let's see if he can turn it around here in the 9th frame.
part of the problem is his volunteer, Chad, has never done this before. So I'm pretty confident by the time they get to the 3rd game, they'll have a routine figured out and he'll do much better.
All right, looks like he's ready. And here it goes. Got a little bit earlier of a break that time. And he gets a 9 on the first roll of the 9th frame, so a little bit better of a result than what he was looking at the last couple of frames. Seemed to have found the trick there.
But now he's got to figure out how to take that break out of the ball to pick up the 7-pin. His ball naturally goes to the right, so he's got to correct for that. Pick up not the 7-pin. 7-pin is very difficult for lefties and for anybody who's got a ball that hooks to the right.
Let's see if he's got a few tricks up his sleeve for this one. Had a 9 on that first roll of the 9th frame. Looking to try to knock down that 7-pin. Being very, very careful with the adjustments right now, making sure it's in the exact right spot. We've seen that ball have that hook in it to the right, but he's got to keep it to the left this time. Here it goes.
Looking good at the halfway point.
Looking straight, teetering on the edge. Oh, at the last second in the gutter. So close. That thing was teetering on the edge for the last 10 feet or so and just took a bad break. So he ends up with a 9 there for the 9th frame. Score of 79 so far as he looks at frame number 10.
They call that being naked in a 9th. If you don't get a mark, a strike or a frame in a 9th, you really hurts your game. That was close.
Ansel Balf's looking to end this game 1 on a high note. Maybe build some momentum for games 2 and 3. All the competitors here at North Bowl are going to be playing 3 games today. Some people are already through their first game and midway through their second.
No handicaps are figured into the bowling scores today. It's totally scratch. You have to beat your competitor heads up. That should be an easy spare for him. The 10 is easier for him to pick up than the 7.
That's definitely working to his advantage with that ball with that built-in hook in it. He's been able to hook that thing to the right all morning so far. So you have to think that having that 10 pin in there is going to be to his advantage.
Best he can hope for is a 99 this game.
We haven't seen a situation like this with Balf so far. Most of the time, he's had that hook in it to the right, but just enough to keep it down the middle of the lane. We haven't had a situation where the pins have been primarily on the right side. He hasn't had to send it all the way over there and get a big hook on it. So let's see what happens here. Looks like it's on target. Oh, but too much of a break that time, and into the gutter it goes. Final score for James Balf, 88 for game 1.
I'm not a bowler, so I really...
You're doing great.